Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, Dawn and Scott.
That was a nice little getaway, I guess.
I like that. Yeah, it is kind of. Oh, and it's great.
Skin fits. I need to be there. Yeah. Yeah.
So anybody else not coming?
Scott will also be on Zoom.
Uh-huh.
And then I
Dawn, so I can have this chair.
Dawn and Scott. I haven't heard anything from Tom.
That's works.
My understanding.
Okay, we would like to welcome you all and call to order the study meeting of the West Valley City Council. It is March 12th, 2024. We're beginning the meeting at 4:30 in the multipurpose room of West Valley City Hall. We have Councilman Christensen and Councilman Harbin online. And in the room, we have Councilman Norfelt, Councilman Fitzsimmonu, Councilman Whetstone, and myself. And we'll excuse Councilman Hune for the moment. Then we're also joined at the table with our interim assistant city manager, Mr. Flores, and our city recorder, Ms. Kamick. I'll now turn the minutes from February 27th, 2024 to the council for discussion or a motion.
Motion to approve February 27th meeting minutes. Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, and those stand approved. We'll go to our meeting for tonight. Mr. Flores, is there any changes in tonight's meeting?
No changes.
Okay, were there any questions from council concerning tonight's meeting? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to our public hearings. We'll start with application Z2 2024, and we'll turn the time to Mr. Lehman.
Thank you, Mayor. Steve Lehman, Planning and Zoning, filling in for Steve Pastrick on this one tonight. He will be here next week, however, for the regular meeting. So this application is a request from Shane McKnight, who is proposing to rezone a piece of property from the R18 zone to the R17 zone. This property is just west of Mountain View Corridor. This first slide is what the subdivision used to look like many years ago. For those of you who've been on the council for a little bit, we've done an awful lot of modifications in this area due to Mountain View Corridor. We've vacated entire subdivisions. We've platted new streets, vacated streets. So these two lots that are highlighted here in red were purchased by UDOT as part of the acquisition along 4100 South, needing to be widened for the interchange at Mountain View Corridor. So that just gives you a little bit of the history, how the subdivision did look. Rushford Court actually extended out to 4100 South as well. So the next slide is how the property looks today. So when UDOT purchased this property, they sort of held it in reserve, not knowing exactly what was going to transpire. So the property has been this way since Mountain View Corridor was constructed. The next slide just shows a little zoomed in version, or excuse me, zoomed out version, just to give you a new flavor. So you can see here, we dedicated Rushford Oaks Court. We also dedicated Wolverine Way that leads into the backside of Hunter High School. So a very small pod of homes remain from what used to be a relatively large subdivision in the area. So just a couple of pictures for you. So this next slide is a zoning of the property. So everything in yellow here is R18. And then we have some photographs for you as well. So the first slide is looking into the property. So we're standing in the cul-de-sac here looking to the east. So that's the bridge over 4100 South. The next slide is looking straight north. This is the wall that separates 4100 South from the subdivision. And the next slide is the home right across the street from this lot. And the next slide is the subdivision. So this was the subdivision that we amended. It's actually called the Hunter Cove Mountain View Corridor subdivision, where we actually platted new rights of way and created the lot right here, which is known as Lot 1A. And the next slide just shows a zoomed in version or a highlighted version that has lots of information with regards to the size of the lot, which is 7,200 square feet. And then the next slide is what Shane is proposing to build here. So he would like to do a new single family home. This is the footprint of the home. The constraints of this property are rather shallow. So the lot in and of itself is 78 feet deep from the bulb of the cul-de-sac. What compounds this situation a little bit is that you've got a Rocky Mountain Power easement in concert with a UDOT easement in the back of 20 feet. So the home cannot extend further to the east, and he's right at the minimum front setback of 25 feet. The home is 1,420 square feet. The city's minimum standard is 1,000 square feet, so we're glad to see that the home is larger. The next slide is the elevation of the home. So the home will be brick, wainscot, fiber cement siding. And then there are just some floor plans illustrated. If you're interested, you've got those in your packet. So the request, once again, in summation, is to rezone the property from R18 to R17 for a new single family dwelling. That is our report.
Okay, questions from the council from Mr. Lehman?
In the issue paper, it said that this would be built to our city's current standards. Now, can you be more specific on that? I know we have some standards and then the state
Sure.
limited us.
Yeah, so
Which ones is this
Yeah.
one?
So our previous standard is the 2,000 square foot Rambler, 3,000 square foot. The state trumped us in those requirements. So our current standard is 1,000 square foot. However, we still have our architectural control standards in place, which this home does meet. This home has a 2-car garage. Our current standard is a 3-car garage. However, ordinance states that if a home or a lot existed prior to April 2015, they could build to the 2-car standard. So this home does have a 2-car garage, which complies with our current standards. So it's a little bit of a combination. The size of the home doesn't meet a previous standard, but all the architectural standards are applied.
The size of the lot wouldn't allow.
It-
the size of the-
right. Yeah. And looking at some 2-story homes, for example, that have been built recently, really the depth starts to get into the 45, 50, even on a 2-story. The depth of this lot is a little less than 35 feet. So it's going to be difficult to build any bigger than what is proposed here.
So in the packet, it has the floor plan for the basement. Is the basement going to be finished at the time of?
I don't know. Steve could probably better answer that. I haven't talked with Shane. My expectation is probably it would be unfinished for the homeowner to finish.
Okay, and then on photograph. I don't know, the one with the floor plan with the circle of the cul-de-sac. Is that really like the front door is gonna be at the sidewalk?
No, so there's some line work there that's not correct. It actually measures 25 feet from the bulb to the front
Okay,
of the home.
I think that dash line probably was the 25 feet setback.
probably, okay,
Yeah,
because that was just very close, okay. Yeah, I think this is a great solution for that lot.
yeah, we were wondering, when we did the subdivision, we were wondering what would happen and how long UDOT would hold the property. They're famous for holding properties and just letting them sit vacant with weeds, and so we're grateful to see the property develop.
Okay, and then will we review this again next week, or is this going straight to?
Yes, it'll be on the regular meeting next week. Because there's not a development agreement.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Mr. Lehman? All right, thank you, sir. All right, we'll now go to resolution 24-42. And we'll turn the time over to Mr. Arslanian.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Jake Arslanian, Director of Facilities and Construction Management. Before you, there is a resolution to approve the purchase and the erection of a carport. You may ask, why are we using a carport on a fire station? Fire Station 74 is on 3100 South, 5300 West. And if you familiarize yourself with the station, the apparatus bays are on the south side of the building. And behind the station, there is a wetland. In front of the station is obviously the fitness center and the ball fields and what have you. So why are we building this? For many years now, this fire station has had several apparatus that is sitting outside in the elements, may it be the sun, snow, rain, and taking the beating. And a couple of these are an engine, which is the wildland fire truck that Station 74 uses quite a bit, especially in the summertime, for the tune of $250,000, the price tag for this vehicle sitting outside in the weather. And there is an ambulance for the tune of $150,000. And there is another engine for $100,000, another response medical unit for another $150,000. So we're looking at approximately $650,000 worth of equipment that's sitting out in the rain, snow, and the elements. We don't have the space for it in the station. So consequently, either they stay outside or has to be put somewhere. There's a couple of other generators that we usually use at the station that are now housed outside at Station 73, which is just down the street on 2700. So you could see the distance between the two stations and how we're farming equipment all around to safeguard them. So the idea came out that there's a space right adjacent to the bays, to the southwest corner of this fire station, that we could utilize to install a 25-foot by 50-foot wide, 25-foot deep, 50-foot wide carport to put this apparatus underneath. And it's a three-sided, so it's enclosed from the three sides. There's no front to it. And we were trying to find the cheapest, the fastest way to be able to provide the facility to house these units and protect them instead of spending a lot of money on repairs. So we went out and got 3 bids. And as you know, in construction nowadays is very tough to get bids. We would like to have had 5 or 6 bids at least. 3 were quite hesitant, but gave us quotes. And you could see in the issue paper, they're from $45,000 to $88,000. So we researched the background of quality carports, and they came up favorable. And responsible bid. So we're recommending as facilities to approve this recommendation and have us install this to safeguard the apparatus. Any questions?
So the sidewalls will be on the east, the south, and the west. The north will be exposed.
Yes, ma'am. So it's easy to use the bay to go out from.
And then will they still be able to go around the entire building or will it block that driveway?
Yes, ma'am. No. It's right behind the driveway. So if you've been in the back,
Yeah,
you've seen some stalls on that south portion by the trees, by the fence line. So we chose that area because it's close to the bay. It's easy to run and jump into as if you're responding, and to use the same bay exits and come back around and park them in that southwest corner. Yeah, and there's still plenty of spaces for the employees to park their vehicles on the west side. Because there's more stalls on the west side. And of course, there's plenty of stalls in front of the building.
right.
So we're not suffering parking spaces for normal vehicles.
And then the generators, will they be, are you gonna put them in there without a door?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not worried about them walking off?
I don't think you could walk off with a generator that big.
Okay.
We're
I don't know how
trailer
big they are.
generators.
Okay,
These are not small. They're 200 kVA, so